Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2 delivers on the promise of its predecessor and then some. It's a visceral, action-packed experience that perfectly captures the feeling of being a Space Marine. The combat is brutal and satisfying, with every swing of the chainsword and blast of the bolter feeling weighty and impactful. They've refined the formula from the original, making it even more fluid and engaging. Beyond the action, the story is surprisingly compelling. It's not just a mindless excuse for violence. There's a well-written narrative that explores the Warhammer 40k universe and its lore. The characters are interesting, and the story kept me hooked from beginning to end. Visually, the game is a treat. The graphics are impressive, the environments are detailed, and the Space Marine armor looks fantastic. The level of detail on the Tyranids is suitably gruesome, and the overall presentation is top-notch. The gameplay has also been expanded in meaningful ways. The customization options allow you to tailor your Space Marine to your playstyle, and the squad mechanics add a layer of tactical depth. It's not just about running and gunning, there's strategy involved. Overall, Space Marine 2 is a fantastic game. It delivers on the core experience of being a Space Marine, with brutal combat, a compelling story, and impressive visuals. It's a must-play for fans of Warhammer 40k and action games alike.
Adventure. And this game has everything you'd expect.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This feels just like an indie movie. You travel to cool places, explore old ruins, and find hidden treasures. The story is good, lots of exciting stuff happens. It keeps you guessing what will happen next. You've got the whip, the hat, the whole look. They nailed that part, at least. The whip feels good. That's a big deal, because if the whip sucks, the game kind of sucks. It's like Indy's whole thing. You do a lot of exploring, which makes sense. Indy's not just a brawler, he's an archaeologist, so you're checking out old ruins, finding hidden stuff, solving puzzles. That part sounds pretty cool. It's like being on a real adventure, digging up secrets and all that. The story is, well, it's an Indiana Jones story, you know the drill. Bad guys, ancient mysteries, Indy saving the day. It's not Shakespeare, but it's fun. It's like a good action movie. You don't go in expecting deep philosophical stuff. You go in for explosions and cool stunts, and this game surely delivers on that front. So, should you play it? If you like Indiana Jones, probably. It's not gonna blow your mind, but it's a fun time. You get to be Indy for a few hours, swing that whip, and explore some cool places. It's like a playable action movie. And honestly, sometimes that's exactly what you're looking for. Just a good, fun time. Don't expect the game of the year, but if you want some classic indie action, this might be worth checking out. Disco Elysium. Okay, Disco Elysium. This one's different. It's not your typical action-adventure, not your usual RPG. It's weird, but in a good way, like a really good way. It's a detective game, kind of. You're a cop, but not a very good one. You're a mess, actually. You're hungover, you've got amnesia, and you're trying to solve a murder, but it's not just about finding clues. It's about figuring out yourself. The whole game is built around dialogue, talking to people, exploring your own thoughts, arguing with your own brain. It's like your inner monologue is a character and you can choose what it says. It's wild. The writing is incredible, it's funny, it's dark, it's insightful. It's like reading a really good book, but you get to choose what happens, and the characters, they're all messed up, but in a relatable way. They've got their own problems, their own motivations. It's not just black and white, it's all shades of gray. There's no real combat, which is weird for a game about a cop. Instead, you've got skill checks. You try to do something, and your skills determine whether you succeed. It's like a tabletop RPG, but it's all happening in your head. It's not for everyone. It's slow, it's talky, and it's definitely not a power fantasy. You're not some badass hero. You're a flawed, broken person trying to do the right thing. But if you're into story-driven games, if you like to think and explore and get lost in a world, then Disco Elysium is definitely worth checking out. It's a unique experience, something you won't find anywhere else. The Outer Wilds. This game is something else. It's hard to even describe it without spoiling anything, which is tough because the less you know going in, the better, but I'll try. It's a game about space and time and loops. You're an astronaut exploring a solar system, but it's not like any solar system you've seen before. Everything's changing, everything's on a timer, and you're stuck in a 22-minute loop. So you've got to figure things out fast. You're exploring planets, reading ancient texts, trying to piece together what's going on. And every time the loop resets, you start over, but you keep what you learned. It's like Groundhog Day in space. The cool thing is, it's all about discovery. The game doesn't hold your hand, it just gives you this world and says, go explore. And you do. You follow clues, you make connections, and you slowly unravel this mystery. It's incredibly satisfying when you finally figure something out. The planets are all unique too. They're not just generic space rocks. They've got their own quirks, their own secrets, and the way they change over time is mind-blowing. It's like the whole solar system is alive. It's not a combat game, really. It's more about exploration and puzzle solving. You're using your brain, not your reflexes. And the story, it's a really good story. It's about the nature of time and the universe and what it means to be alive. It's deep, but it's also fun. Baldur's Gate 3. First off, it's based on Dungeons and Dragons, like really based on D&D. They've taken the rules, the classes, the spells, and put it all into this game. So if you're a D&D fan, you're gonna feel right at home. But even if you've never rolled a d20 in your life, there's a lot to love here. The story is epic, the characters are memorable, and the world is just begging to be explored. You've got choices to make, quests to complete, and all sorts of shenanigans to get into. The combat is turn-based, which might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's strategic, it's tactical, and it can be incredibly rewarding. You've got to think about your moves, plan your attacks, and use your abilities wisely. It's like a chess match, but with swords and spells. And the freedom, man, the freedom in this game is insane. You can do almost anything. You can talk to anyone, you can fight anyone, you can even romance almost anyone. It's your story, and you get to decide how it plays out. It's not a short game by any means. It's a long, involved adventure that can easily take you hundreds of hours to complete, but it's worth it. It's a game that you can get lost in, a game that you'll be thinking about long after you're done playing. Baldur's Gate 3 is a special game. It's a love letter to D&D, it's a showcase for great storytelling, and it's just a damn good RPG. If you're looking for a game that's deep, engaging, and full of possibilities, then this is the one. Just be prepared to lose a lot of sleep. You've been warned. Metro Exodus. This game is a trip, man. It's like a post-apocalyptic road trip through Russia, and it's wild. You're Artyom, same dude from the other Metro games, and you're finally getting out of those tunnels. No more claustrophobia, you're hitting the open road. Or, well, the open wasteland. You're not alone though, you've got a crew, a bunch of survivors, and you're all on this train, the Aurora. It's your mobile home, your base of operations, and it's chugging its way across the country. You're looking for a better place, somewhere you can actually live without getting eaten by mutants or irradiated. The game looks amazing, seriously, it's gorgeous. Even though it's a destroyed world, it's still beautiful. The different areas you go through are all unique and they all look incredible. Snowy forests, deserts, creepy swamps. It's all there and it's all rendered in painstaking detail. You'll just stop sometimes and stare at the scenery, it's that good. Gameplay-wise, it's a mix of a few things. Stealth is important. You don't always want to go in guns blazing because ammo's scarce and some of those creatures are nasty. So sneaking around, taking enemies out quietly, that's a big part of it. But when you do have to fight, it's intense. The gunplay feels good and the enemies are challenging. You've also got crafting, which is essential for survival. You're always scrounging for parts, making ammo, upgrading your gear. The story in this one is more personal than the other Metro games. It's not just about saving the world, it's about finding a home, building a community. You're not just some soldier, you're part of a family now. You've got people you care about, and you're fighting for them. It's a slow-paced game, for sure. It's not all action all the time. There are quiet moments where you're just exploring, taking in the atmosphere, talking to your crew. It's a game that lets you get immersed in the world, and it's a world that's worth getting immersed in. The Elden Ring. Let's chat about Elden Ring. This game, man, it's a phenomenon. Everyone's lost their minds over it, and honestly, it's kind of understandable. It's the latest thing from the folks who made Dark Souls, so you know what that means. It's gonna kick your butt repeatedly. But here's the thing, it's not just hard, it's also incredibly rewarding. It's like climbing a mountain. It's tough, you're gonna fall down a lot, but when you finally reach the top, the view is amazing. That's Elden Ring in a nutshell. It's a huge open world, which is a change from their other games. Usually you're stuck in these tight, interconnected levels. Here, they've blown the doors open, you've got this massive map to explore, and you can go pretty much anywhere you want, whenever you want. You're this character, the Tarnished, and you're on a quest to become Elden Lord. Sounds fancy, right? Basically, you gotta collect these great runes and then beat a bunch of super tough bosses. That's the basic idea, but there's a lot more to it than that. The story is actually pretty deep, but it's not just handed to you on a platter. You gotta find it, piece it together, read item descriptions, talk to NPCs. It's like a puzzle within a puzzle. The combat is classic From Software. It's all about timing, knowing when to attack, when to dodge, when to block. You're gonna die a lot. That's just how it is. But each death is a learning experience. You figure out enemy patterns, you learn from your mistakes, and you get a little bit stronger. Eventually, you'll get good enough to take down even the toughest enemies. And those bosses, forget about it. They're huge, they're intimidating, and they will absolutely destroy you the first few times you face them. But they're also incredibly well designed. Each one has its own unique moveset, and you have to learn it if you want to survive. It's a challenge, but it's a fair challenge, and when you finally beat one, it feels amazing, like you just conquered Everest. Elden Ring isn't for everyone. It's a demanding game and it requires patience and dedication, but if you're looking for a truly epic adventure, a game that will test your skills and reward your perseverance, then this is it. It's a masterpiece, honestly. It's a game that you'll be thinking about long after you're done playing. Just be prepared to die. A lot. Seriously, like a lot. But trust me, it's worth it.
You were Dad's biggest mistake, but I will fix it!
A Plague Tale Requiem. This one hit me in the feels. It's the sequel to A Plague Tale Innocence, and it continues the story of Amicia and Hugo, two siblings trying to survive in a plague-ridden France. But things are even worse this time around. A Plague Tale's Requiem is an absolutely gorgeous game. The environments are breathtaking, from ruined cities to eerie countryside landscapes. It's dark, gritty, and often unsettling, but there's a strange beauty to it all. The lighting, the shadows, the sheer level of detail. It's the kind of game where you just stop to take it all in, even when everything around you is bleak and horrifying. The story, absolutely heartbreaking. Amicia and Hugo are still on the run, desperately searching for a cure, but things keep getting worse. The plague is spreading, the rats are multiplying, and the world feels like it's closing in on them. It's a brutal journey that digs deep into themes of family, sacrifice, and just how far you're willing to go to protect the people you love. It's emotional, intense, and it'll wreck you. Gameplay-wise, it's a mix of stealth, puzzle solving, and some combat. You're sneaking past guards, using the environment to your advantage, and making the most of Amicia's sling and different types of crafted ammo. But the real nightmare? The rats. They're everywhere. Swarms of them, ready to tear you apart. Light and fire are your best friends, but the rats are always lurking, a constant, terrifying threat that never really lets up. At the heart of everything is Amicia and Hugo's relationship. They're so close, so dependent on each other, and the game really tests that bond. Amicia is willing to do anything to keep Hugo safe, and watching their relationship evolve through all the hardship is both beautiful and gut-wrenching. A Plague Tale Requiem isn't a happy game. It's dark, emotional, and at times straight up devastating, but it's also unforgettable. If you love story-driven games with deep characters and an atmosphere that sticks with you, this one is a must-play. Just be ready for an emotional punch to the gut.
Are you hurt?
No.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This game picks up right after the first part remake ends. Cloud and his buddies have escaped Midgar, that big evil city, and now they're out in the world trying to stop Shinra, the bad guys, and find Sephiroth, who's like the ultimate bad guy. It's basically a road trip, but you know, a Final Fantasy road trip, so it's not like you're just driving to the beach. And they're not just copying the old game either. They're adding stuff, changing things, making the story bigger and more detailed. So even if you played the original, you're gonna see some surprises. They're taking the core story and expanding on it, which is cool. The fighting is a mix of action and strategy. You can control Cloud directly, hack and slash, do all the cool moves, but you can also go into this tactical mode where you can tell your other party members what to do. It's a neat system. It combines the fast-paced action with the strategic thinking of turn-based combat. The game looks incredible. They've taken the places from the original and made them look amazing. It's like seeing them for the first time, only way better. And they've added new areas too, so you get to explore even more of the world. It's a beautiful game, visually stunning. The characters are great. Cloud, Aerith, Tifa, Barret, they're all back and they're all more developed. You get to know them better, learn more about their backstories, their motivations, and the voice acting is fantastic. Everyone sounds believable and the dialogue is sharp and funny. There's a ton to do in this game. It's huge. The main story is long, but there are also tons of side quests, mini games, and other stuff to keep you busy. You can easily spend dozens of hours playing this game and you still won't see everything. It's not just a simple remake, it's a reimagining. They're taking the best parts of the original and making them even better. It's a tribute to the fans, but it's also a great game in its own right. If you're into Final Fantasy games, or if you just enjoy a good RPG, you should definitely check this out. It's an epic adventure, a visually stunning game, and a worthy successor to a classic. It's a must-play for RPG fans.
We do this back.
HiFi Rush. Okay, so in HiFi Rush, you are Chai, who's just a normal rockstar guy. Did that come off cool? Well, anyways, this game is just cool. It's like someone took a cartoon, a rock concert, and a video game and mashed them all together. It's a rhythm game, which means the music is super important.
You said you'd help out? Maybe this wasn't such a...
It's not just background noise, it's part of the gameplay. Everything you do, from hitting enemies to dodging attacks, is tied to the beat. You play as this dude, Chai, who's trying to become a rock star. He gets this robotic arm, and suddenly he's a target for this big evil corporation. The story is kind of silly, but it works. It's not trying to be some deep, meaningful narrative. It's just a fun, goofy story to keep things moving. The game looks awesome. It's all cel-shaded, which means it looks like a comic book. The colors are bright, the characters are stylish, and it's just visually appealing. It's like watching a cartoon come to life. It's got a really unique look. But the real magic of this game is the gameplay. It's all about hitting the beat. When you attack on the beat, you do more damage. It's a simple idea, but it's so satisfying, and as you get better, your combos get flashier, more stylish. It's like you're putting on a show while you're fighting. It's really cool. The music is great, it's a mix of original songs and some licensed tracks, and it all fits the game perfectly. It's upbeat, it's catchy, and it gets you pumped up for every fight. You'll be tapping your foot and nodding your head along with the music without even realizing it. The boss fights are a blast. They're challenging, but they're also creative. Each boss has its own rhythm, its own patterns that you have to learn. It's like a musical puzzle. You've got to figure out how their attacks sync with the music, and then use that knowledge to take them down. And when you finally do, it feels great. HiFi Rush isn't a super complicated game. It's not trying to be some deep strategic RPG. It's just trying to be fun, and it nails it. It's a game that you can pick up and play for a few minutes or a few hours, and you'll always have a good time. It's energetic, it's stylish, and it's just pure, unadulterated fun. If you're looking for something different, something that's not your typical action game, then definitely give this a try. It's a refreshing change of pace, and it's guaranteed to put a smile on your face. It's just a good time, plain and simple.
Let's go.
Persona 5 Royal. This game is slick. It's not your average JRPG, it's got a unique blend of turn-based combat and social sim elements that just work so well. It's stylish, it's got a fantastic soundtrack, and it's just a blast to play. You play as Joker, a high school student who transfers to a new school in Tokyo. But you're not just a regular student. You're also a phantom thief, a group of vigilantes who fight against corrupt adults by entering their palaces, which are like mental representations of their twisted desires. The combat is turn-based, but it's fast-paced and strategic. You're exploiting enemy weaknesses, building up combos, and using personas, which are like manifestations of your inner self, to unleash powerful attacks. It's a deep and rewarding combat system. But the game is more than just fighting. It's also about building relationships with your confidants, the people you meet and befriend. These relationships give you bonuses in combat and unlock new abilities. It's important to spend time with your friends, get to know them, and help them through their problems. The story is engaging and thought-provoking. It explores themes of social injustice, corruption, and the power of rebellion. It's a story about finding your place in the world and fighting for what you believe in. The visuals are stylish and vibrant, the game has a distinct anime aesthetic, and it's full of personality. The character designs are memorable, and the environments are beautifully rendered. The music is fantastic. It's a mix of jazz, rock, and pop that perfectly complements the game's tone. It's catchy, it's energetic, and it gets you pumped up for every fight. Persona 5 Royal is a long game, but it's a game that you'll want to savor. It's packed with content, from the main story to side quests to mini games. There's always something to do, something to explore, something to discover. It's a must-play for JRPG fans. It's a stylish, engaging, and unforgettable experience. It's a game that will stay with you long after you're done playing. It's just cool. Seriously, if you haven't played it yet, you're missing out. Mass Effect 2. So Mass Effect 2. Picture this, you're Commander Shepard and the whole galaxy's basically on fire. Bad guys called the Collectors are snatching up human colonies, and it's your job to stop them. Now, this isn't a solo gig, you gotta put together a team, and that's where the game gets interesting. You're not just recruiting soldiers, you're building a crew of misfits, each with their own quirks and backstories. Think of it like assembling a space-age Avengers team, but with way more drama.
We could upgrade. As for the crew, you'd have to...
Seriously, getting to know these characters is half the fun. You'll be going on missions with them, sure, but you'll also be chatting with them back on your ship, the Normandy. They'll tell you about their past, their fears, and their hopes. You'll help them with their personal problems, and they'll help you with yours. It's like making friends, but these friends are also super skilled space warriors.
You should probably know that I've had extensive genetic modification.
The missions themselves are pretty varied. You'll be exploring different planets, fighting all sorts of alien creatures, and making choices that can have big consequences. It's not just about shooting. You'll be talking to people, gathering information, and trying to figure out the best way to handle each situation. It's like a space opera where you get to decide how it all plays out.
Anyone to Omega. Opportunity. Success.
And the combat, it feels good. You've got a bunch of different weapons and powers to play with, and you can mix and match them to create your own style. It's like being a space wizard with a gun. You can freeze enemies, set them on fire, or just blast them with a shotgun. It's pretty satisfying. Honestly, Mass Effect 2 is a game that really pulls you in, you get invested in the characters, you care about the story, and you feel like you're making a difference. It's a big, sprawling space adventure, and it's a lot of fun to play.
Serve on the Normandy, Commander.
Spider-Man 2018.
Hi, MJ. It's Peter. Any chance I could...
First off, the swinging. That's the thing everyone talks about, and for good reason. It just feels right. You're not just watching a cutscene, you're in control. You get that feeling of speed and freedom as you zip between buildings. It's not always perfect, you might miss a swing or two, but when you get a good rhythm going, it's really satisfying. You're playing as Peter Parker, and he's not a rookie, he's been Spider-Man for a while, so he's got his own style, he's got his jokes, he's got his moves, and he's got his own problems. The fighting's fun, you get to use webs in all sorts of ways, not just to swing. You can pull enemies towards you, throw stuff at them, and do these cool combos. It's not just button mashing, you can actually get creative with it. The story's pretty solid. It's not just a simple bad guy wants to take over the world plot. It's about Peter's life, his friends, his job, and how it all gets mixed up with his Spider-Man stuff. You'll meet some familiar villains, and they have their own reasons for doing what they do. Mary Jane's also in the game, and she's not just a damsel in distress. She's actually involved in the story and helps out, which is pretty cool. You also get to use gadgets, which adds another layer to the gameplay. Peter's a scientist, so he's always tinkering with stuff. You'll get to use web bombs, drones, and other gadgets that come in handy during fights. It's like having a little toolbox of superhero tricks. What makes it worth playing? Well, it really makes you feel like Spider-Man, not just in the swinging, but in the fighting, the story, and even the little details. It's a fun action game with a decent story, and it's a good way to spend a few hours. Plus, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you'll probably enjoy seeing how they've brought the character to life in a game. Uncharted 4. Imagine you're Nathan Drake, and you thought you were done with all the treasure hunting stuff. You're trying to live a normal life, but then your brother Sam shows up out of nowhere. Turns out, he's in a jam, and you're the only one who can help. He's got this lead on some lost pirate treasure, and you just can't resist.
Fresh citrus.
This game, man, it looks good. Like, the places you go, they're not just pretty pictures. You'll be climbing cliffs where you can almost feel the wind, exploring jungles where you can practically smell the damp earth, and poking around ancient ruins that feel like they've been forgotten for centuries. It's like being on a really cool vacation, but with way more danger. And the action, it's like you're in a big budget movie. You'll be in car chases that make you hold your breath, shootouts that feel intense, and these climbing sequences that make you wonder how Nathan doesn't just fall. You get to use a grappling hook, which is super fun, and you'll be using it to swing across gaps and outsmart enemies. It's not just shooting, it's about using your environment to your advantage. The story's not just about finding treasure either, it's about family. Nathan and Sam have this complicated relationship, and you'll see them argue and work together. There are twists and turns that keep you guessing, and you'll meet some interesting characters along the way. It's not just a mindless action game, it's got some heart.
Where is it now?
Basically, Uncharted 4 is a game that makes you feel like you're on a real adventure. You get to explore amazing places, get into crazy action scenes, and follow a story that's actually pretty good. It's a fun game to play if you like action and adventure, and it's a good way to spend a few afternoons. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You're a pirate in the Caribbean during the golden age of piracy. You're not just any pirate though. You're also an assassin, which means you're good at sneaking around and taking out bad guys. You play as Edward Kenway, and he's a pretty cool character. He's a pirate who's also trying to figure out his place in the world. You'll be sailing your own ship, the Jackdaw, and exploring islands, fighting other ships, and looking for treasure. What's really fun about this game is the sailing. You get to command your own ship, upgrade it with better cannons and armor, and even recruit crew members. It's like being the captain of your own pirate ship. You'll also be exploring different islands, some with jungles, some with towns, and some with hidden secrets. You can climb buildings, sneak around, and use your hidden blade to take out enemies. It's like being a ninja pirate. The story's pretty interesting too. You'll meet famous pirates like Blackbeard and Anne Bonny, and you'll get caught up in a conflict between the Assassins and the Templars. Basically, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a game that lets you live out your pirate fantasies. It's got sailing, exploring, fighting, and a cool story. It's a fun adventure. God of War 2018. You know Kratos, right? The super angry dude from the old games? Well, he's different now. He's got a kid, Atreus, and they're living in this cold, kind of spooky world based on Norse myths. Imagine taking a road trip with your dad, but your dad is a god and you're fighting trolls and dragons along the way. That's basically this game. It's a big change from the old God of War, where it was just non-stop fighting. Now there's a real story about family and how Kratos is trying to be a good dad. The relationship between Kratos and Atreus is the main thing. They're both learning from each other. Kratos is teaching Atreus how to fight, and Atreus is teaching Kratos how to chill out a little. It's like watching them grow together, and it's actually pretty cool. Now, the fighting is still awesome. You get this axe, the Leviathan axe, and it's super satisfying to throw it and call it back. You'll be fighting all sorts of monsters like trolls and Draugr, and the battles are intense. The world they live in is really interesting. It's full of Norse mythology, so you'll see gods and monsters that you might have heard about in stories. You get to explore forests, mountains, and even travel to different realms. It's like stepping into a Viking adventure, and it looks really good. Honestly, God of War 2018 is a game that's about more than just fighting. It's about family, growing up, and dealing with your past. It's a fun game to play if you like action, a good story, and exploring cool worlds. Plus, the axe is just super fun to use. Red Dead Redemption 2. Imagine you're living back in the Wild West, like way back when things were changing fast. You're Arthur Morgan and you're part of a gang of outlaws. It's not just about robbing banks, it's about trying to survive when your whole way of life is fading away. This game, man, it feels real. Like you're not just playing a character, you're living in this world. You can go hunting for animals just to get food, or go fishing just to chill out. You can even just hang out with your gang, telling stories around a campfire. Of course, as action too, you'll be getting into gunfights, robbing trains, and doing all sorts of outlaw stuff. It's intense, and you'll have to make choices that affect how people see you. Do you help someone in need, or do you look out for yourself? It matters in this game. The story's what really gets you though. It's about Arthur and his gang and how they're trying to figure things out. You'll see them argue, laugh, and try to stick together. You'll get to know them, and you'll care about what happens to them. The world itself is huge. You can explore forests, mountains, towns, and everything in between. It's like a big playground, and there's always something to do. You can find hidden treasures, help people in need, or just ride your horse and enjoy the scenery. Max Payne 3.
Something rotten in the air.
You've probably heard of Max Payne, right? Guy's had a rough time. This game picks up with him in Brazil, working as a bodyguard. It's not exactly a vacation. Here's the thing about this game, it's not just another shooter. It's got this slow motion thing called bullet time, which is pretty cool. You can dive around, shoot guys while time slows down. It's not just about spraying bullets, it's about making those shots count. The action is pretty intense. You'll be in shootouts in all sorts of places, from fancy clubs to rough neighborhoods. You're not just running and gunning, you're diving through windows, using cover, and trying to stay alive. It's got a real gritty feel to it. The story's dark too. Max is dealing with a lot of stuff, like his past and the fact that things keep going wrong. He's trying to protect the people he's working for, but it's not easy. It's like a crime thriller, but you're in the middle of it. You get to see a lot of Brazil in this game. You'll go to different places and they all have their own vibe. It's not just a backdrop, it feels like a real city. The Walking Dead. Imagine the world's gone totally sideways. People are turning into these creepy zombies called walkers, and it's a mess. You're Lee Everett, and you end up looking after a little girl named Clementine. It's like, imagine being thrown into a really scary world, and suddenly you're responsible for keeping the kids safe. This game isn't about running around shooting zombies all the time. It's more about talking to people and making choices. It's like a story that changes depending on what you do. You'll be figuring out who to trust, deciding how to deal with tough situations, and trying to keep Clementine safe.
No kidding.
What makes this game special is how much you get to know the characters. You'll see Lee and Clementine trying to survive, and you'll really start to care about them. You'll meet other people who are also trying to stay alive, and you'll have to decide who's a friend and who's a threat. It's like making real friends or enemies in a game. The game can be pretty emotional. There are some sad moments where you might even tear up. There are also tense moments where you'll be holding your breath, hoping you make the right choice. And there are moments that make you think about what you would do in a world like that. It's kind of like watching a really good TV show, but you're in charge of what happens.
Did you leave Clementine alone?
Here's the thing, your choices matter. If you say something mean or if you do something that hurts someone, it can change how they act towards you later. And if you make a bad choice, someone might get hurt or even die. It's like your choices have real consequences. Detroit Become Human. It's the future, and there are these robots called androids that look and act just like people. They are basically everywhere. They look and act just like people, but they're supposed to just do what they're told. Now, some of these androids start to feel things like sadness, anger, even love. They start to wonder, why am I just a robot? Why can't I be free? You get to play as 3 different androids, each with their own story. First, there's Kara. She's like a nanny robot, and she ends up trying to protect a little girl from a bad situation. It's like a really intense family drama, but with robots. Then there's Connor. He's a police robot, and he's hunting down androids who are acting deviant, which is what they call androids who are starting to feel things. It's like a detective story, but with robots. And finally, there's Marcus. He's like a robot revolutionary. He wants freedom for all androids, and he's willing to fight for it. It's like a story about a robot uprising. The game is pretty emotional. You'll see how the androids struggle with their feelings, like when they're confused or scared. You'll also see how humans treat them, which can be really unfair. It's not just about robots fighting, though. It's about choices and what it means to be human. It's a game that makes you think about things like freedom, fairness, and what happens when robots become more like us. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Right, so you are Geralt. Think of him like a detective who also fights monsters. He lives in this big old-timey world, kind of like if fairy tales were real, but also kind of scary. He's on a mission to find Ciri, who's like his adopted kid. It's a long journey, and you'll be traveling through all sorts of places, from spooky forests to bustling towns. You'll meet a lot of different people, some nice, some not so much, and you'll run into some seriously freaky creatures. This game isn't just about swinging a sword. You'll have to make choices that change how the story goes, like someone might ask you to help them, and depending on what you do, things can turn out really different. You'll also be solving mysteries. People will tell you about monsters or crimes, and you'll have to use clues to figure out what's going on. The world you explore is huge, like really huge. You can ride your horse through fields, sail on lakes, and climb mountains. You'll find hidden caves, old ruins, and all sorts of places to explore. There are also tons of side quests, so you can always find something new to do.
On the battlefield, necrophages.
The monsters are pretty cool. You'll fight everything from giant spiders to flying beasts. You can use different weapons, spells, and potions to take them down. Each monster is different, so you have to figure out the best way to fight it. The story is also pretty interesting. It's not just about finding Ciri. You'll learn about the different kingdoms, the people who live there, and the problems they face. It's like a big, complicated story, and you're right in the middle of it.
Half lion, half eagle.
Basically, Witcher 3 is a game where you get to be a monster hunter, a detective, and an adventurer. You'll explore a big world, make choices that matter, and fight some really cool monsters. It's a game that can keep you busy for a long time. Shadow of the Colossus. So, Shadow of the Colossus. Think of it like this. You're this person, Wander, and you're trying to bring someone back to life. But to do that, you've got to take down these huge living things called colossi. They're like walking mountains, basically. You're all alone except for your horse aggro in this really quiet, kind of sad place. It's just you, your horse, and these massive creatures. It feels really lonely, but also really big and important. Now here's the thing, you don't just shoot or punch these colossi, they're way too big for that. You have to figure out how to climb on them, like scaling a building. You'll be using your sword to find their weak spots, which are like glowing symbols on their bodies. Each Colossus fight is like a big puzzle. You have to figure out how to get to their weak points, which can be tricky. They might be flying, swimming, or just really hard to climb. You'll be using your horse to get around, and you'll have to be quick and smart to avoid getting crushed or thrown off. The world you explore is really beautiful, but it's also empty. There are no towns, no people, just you and the colossi. It's like you're in a forgotten world, and it feels really special. Taking down a Colossus is intense. You'll be climbing on their fur, trying to hold on while they shake and try to throw you off. When you finally find their weak spot and stab them, it feels really rewarding. It's like you've accomplished something huge. Mafia 2.
Take you to school.
Man, Mafia 2 is just something else. It's like living inside a classic mob movie. Cool cars, old school music, and a city that actually feels alive.
It's daytime, unfortunately.
The story is the best part. You play as Vito Scaletta, a guy trying to make a name for himself after coming back from World War II. But instead of a normal life, he gets pulled into the Mafia and things start going bad real fast. The moment you start, you're thrown into the gritty world of Empire Bay, a city that feels cold, lived in, and full of danger. It's the 1940s, later moving into the 1950s, and everything from the cars, to the music, to the way people talk, feels straight out of a mob film. It's the kind of game that pulls you in and never really lets go.
His name's Henry Tomasino. I think he's got something.
So as you are Vito Scaletta, a Sicilian immigrant who comes back from World War II, broken, desperate for a better life, his best friend Joe Barbaro introduces him to the Mafia, and from there Vito's life spirals into the world of crime, money, and betrayal.
I kept reading the papers to see what was going on.
The storytelling is the real star here. Every mission feels like it matters. There's no pointless filler. It's all about the rise and fall of Vito, and man, you really feel it. The way the game slowly shows the cost of this lifestyle is just brutal. At first, it's all fancy suits, expensive cars, and money rolling in, but as time passes, you realize the Mafia isn't a family, it's a business, and when you're no longer useful, you're nothing. Vito and Joe's friendship is another big reason this game hits so hard. Joe is loud, reckless, and always getting into trouble, but he's also loyal to a fault. Their relationship feels real, and by the end of the game, you're not just watching a story, you're feeling every moment of it. The city itself, Empire Bay, is perfect for the story. It's not a massive open world with a million things to do, but that's what makes it special. It exists to serve the story, and it does that flawlessly. The changing seasons from snowy streets to bright summer days make it feel alive. The cars handle like real old school vehicles, heavy and slow, but that just adds to the immersion.
Shit. What the hell are we gonna do?
And the music? Absolute perfection. Songs from the 40s and 50s play on the radio, making every drive feel like you're actually in that era. There's just something about Mafia 2 that sticks with you. It's not the longest game, and it doesn't have tons of side content, but the story, the atmosphere, and the characters make it unforgettable. If you love crime dramas, this is a must-play. It's the kind of game that stays in your mind long after the credits roll. Yakuza Like a Dragon 7. Yakuza Like a Dragon takes everything you think you know about the Yakuza series and flips it on its head. Instead of the usual beat-em-up action, this one goes full turn-based RPG, but somehow it just works. And man, this game has so much heart. You play as Ichiban Kasuga, a low-level Yakuza grunt who takes the fall for a crime he didn't commit. He spends 18 years in prison expecting to come back to his old life, only to find out that everything has changed. His family is gone, his boss betrayed him, and he's left with nothing.
Be a member of the Arakawa family. If you were from the family,
but instead of being some cold, hardened gangster, Ichiban is the most lovable idiot you could imagine. He's basically the complete opposite of Kiryu. He's goofy, emotional, and straight up obsessed with Dragon Quest, and that's why the combat is turn-based, because in his mind, every fight is like a battle in an RPG. And speaking of the combat, it's surprisingly fun. Each character has different jobs, like a bodyguard, a chef, or even a literal breakdancer. And the moves are just ridiculous. You're summoning lobsters, calling in a guy with a diaper for backup, and whacking enemies with traffic cones. But at the same time, the game knows when to get serious. It'll have you laughing one second, then wrecking your emotions the next. The story is so good, man. Ichiban isn't trying to be some legendary Yakuza. He just wants to help people and do the right thing. He builds a crew of outcasts, a homeless doctor, a disgraced cop, a barmaid with a rough past, and they feel like a real family. You actually care about them. And the villains? Oh man, some of them are straight up brutal. The betrayals, the twists, the fights, it just keeps getting better and better. And let's not forget Yokohama. This city feels alive. There's so much to do. Karaoke, arcade games, business management, freaking kart racing, and it never feels boring. Every little side story is packed with personality, from helping a guy escape a chicken costume job to fighting off a group of middle-aged men dressed as babies. It's peak Yakuza insanity, and I love it. Honestly, Like a Dragon is something special. It takes a risk by changing up the formula, but it totally nails it. If you love deep stories, hilarious side quests, and over-the-top fights, this is a must-play. Ichiban might be a new protagonist, but trust me, by the end of the game, you're gonna love this guy.
He said money.